Hello and welcome back to the ESL ESEA Pro League. I'm joined by Mitch Ubershouts Leslie for tonight, and already we have seen quite a spectacle of CS. We managed to see Penta's debut up against NaVi, albeit on cash, but it looked convincing.
Their first showing in the ESL ESEA Pro League so far, and honestly, I'm pretty impressed. I think the new players bringing in, of course, well, new, Speedy, of course, and Tarsin joining the lineup have definitely bolstered them in more ways than maybe just on the actual battlefield there. So NaVi now, conversely, maybe suffering a little bit from that one now. Our next game, of course, features them going up against Titan. Yeah,
this is going to be intriguing to me. Two different kind of voices in my head. One of them kind of voicing towards the French, saying, this is Overpass. This is a map that I've always looked at as being not something that it's not really Titan's strength, and it's clear. I mean, we saw yesterday they had a showing up against Fnatic where they gave Fnatic so much. Like I mean, it's a case of gave an inch, took a mile.
Absolutely.
Because they was on that T side and Fnatic just walked all over them. No matter what Titan kind of presented on the CT side, they just could not find a way in against Fnatic. Of course, maybe things are going to be different against NaVi, but the other voice in my head is also saying that Titan have now got like no excuse. They just played a game on Overpass against Mouse Sports. That didn't go their way. No. That was over in the SCII League. And so, I mean, they are going to have a bit of a kind of a weird tilty mind going, okay, we've just lost twice on Overpass. You mean Fnatic, meh, but Mouse?
16-10 was the score as well. So it was, honestly, not that convincing a performance from Titan, a team that, well, they're getting plenty of practice on Overpass at the very least, and even seeing on Twitter as well, they're not loving the map right now by the seams of things.
Yeah, that's right. It was Scream literally just tweeted out saying, starting to hate Overpass.
Yeah.
So that doesn't surprise me considering his scoreline yesterday. I remember me and Lauren kind of highlighting he was sitting on 5 frags for the majority of that game, where he was kind of not being given the freedom some of the teams give him by Fnatic. And I mean, while we do have some time, we're currently residing on 3 members of Titans. We're waiting on those final 2. The way Fnatic structured their T side, it's something at the end of the stream yesterday, I was like, if you guys want to improve, look at the way they did it, because it was so different to what you usually see. The default kind of T side is going to be a case of you push towards Fountain, get some early control towards toilets, try and push the CTs back. And the CTs, of course, are going to be pushing you through restrooms, and there's kind of this altercation and connector. Fnatic completely just threw that to the wind and went to these very short, contested territories, you know, towards Monster, towards Water. And as soon as they got control of that, they then realized, like, I didn't think about it like that. But as soon as you have connector, you are at either site very, very quickly. And the CTs, especially if they've lost a couple, have to guess, have to assume. And that's where Fnatic have their strength.
Fnatic gave themselves a lot of control of those thoroughfares in that game. But even more interestingly is that Titan, from start to finish, were always wanting to go head-to-head with Fnatic. Go head-to-head, take the 1v1. Yeah. Even though I have no nades, no armor, a crappy pistol, I'm going to try and fight you and take this away. And, you know, we talk about tilt mechanics as well sometimes in CSGO and how you can be affected by that as well. Maybe that was a part of it as well, but Titan, you know, just seemed to always be coming out so aggressive. It didn't work out for them. And Fnatic, well, I mean, they got away with murder, really, literally, I guess. They just kept taking round after round after round, and Titan tried so many different things and just couldn't hold them back. And like you said, the T side for Fnatic was stellar, absolutely stellar. And after not being able to hold against a team on CT, it doesn't give you a heck of a lot of confidence for what you could maybe orchestrate on the T side yourself.
Starix is having a little play in as he warms himself up. But away from the playground, I think it's not going to be all fun and games for Titan. Last time these guys played, last time they met on this very map was over in Gaming Paradise. So not too long ago. Yep. We have, of course, had a plethora of CSGO events after that one. I mean, we have got CSGO event almost every weekend these days, so we really have been treated to a whole lot of CS. But way back when in Gaming Paradise, we did see that win go the way of NaVi after an overtime. 19-15 being the final result. So that's, I mean, that was pre-Scream. That was, of course, with Maniac rocking the roster. And I'm intrigued to see where this one goes. I do have to say that the stars are aligning more so for NaVi than Titan in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, we talked about Scream having a little bit of an off night last night, as it were. I want to highlight him here. I want to point him out as a player who I think is a fantastic counterpoint to Flamey as well. If we're going to even see him in this game, I see StarX actually in, so maybe Flamey's subbing out. But that would be an amazing matchup to sort of see those two. Flamey's in game, that's fine.
Yeah, yes, panic not.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, if I go across and compare all these players with their opposite numbers, that to me is probably the most exciting matchup as well. Scream has such a high skill cap as a player as well. He's really exciting to see, but we know how Flamey can turn on, or flame on, as it were. Ooh. Sometimes the guy is an absolute beast when it counts. And then there's the facet, there's the counter argument that, well, NaVi are just coming off a pretty disappointing loss to Penta, and a match where they ostensibly should easily have taken away. So a lot of factors to be weighing up here as well. And as always, a lot will depend on that pistol. I want to see how these teams get off to a start. Last time NaVi played this map, it was against TSM last week, and they lost 16-10. And also Titan actually back on the 6th of October lost to TSM 16-5. So both these two teams have fallen foul of the TSM on this map. But let's jump into the knife round here and see what Titan can do after an average night last night.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. You did touch on Scream, and of course there is a very popular thread on Reddit now where someone highlighted his game yesterday against Envy over in the FACEIT League. He had a 95% headshot rate. 95%! Unheard of, really, yeah. Unless you Scream. And that's not like he only got one kill and it was a headshot or something stupid like that. 22 kills, 95% headshot rate. That's absolutely crazy. And we'll see if he can kind of match that in this one up against the boys over at NaVi. We did see a knife go the way of Shox, who managed to pick up those two last knives, and it's going to be Titan then who have the choice of where they want to start.
Absolutely there. So, I mean, how important is this now, of course? I mean, talking about, you know, how much is that knife round meaning now, of course, with Titan starting on the CT side, because this could be the monkey on their back of Fnatic just belting them last night.
This is exactly what happened. They won the knife against Fnatic. They got the CT side. I know you always kind of count that as a win on Overpass, especially it's a side that definitely is favored here on Overpass, but Fnatic kind of blew that out of the water yesterday. Let's see if NaVi can follow in their shoes. Either way, though, jumping on into this one. Distinct lack of nades for NaVi, just going for the full armor, even a Tech 9 on Flamey. So he's going to be the, well, it's been dubbed Raid Boss. He's going to be the tank at the front line. Definitely looking to draw some Titan blood.
And on the Titan side, only two players with armor here, Shox and Scream. 5-7 in the hands of RPK and Existence, and you can see they've poured themselves down towards mid, towards that plaza, and actually Existence has gone into connector here, and they're waiting to see where Navi's going to push on this one as well. Looks like a little bit of a set play towards Ace. Some smokes are coming out. NaVi readying themselves for some kind of push.
I like what Cease is doing here. He is going to be able to catch at least one out of the door. Oh, not. Existence swings and finds him, and Scream in the meantime does exactly the same with his P2K. Oh, even anticipating one behind him. Zeus is going to be kicking himself as NaVi finally finds some sort of legroom, some sort. That's 3! What was that? Edward and Guardian come alive, and now they have to find the final two players from Titan. That was such a stabilizing play.
Shox trying to sneak there through. Ready does go towards Edward on walkway, as we call it now. Guardian going to make his way in towards Pipes. Oh my lord, that was some impressive stuff. Now, just the last man for NaVi here. Does have to deal still with the 5-7 in the hands of Existence, and of course Shox will be waiting for them now with a bit of armor. Definitely not an easy situation to navigate here. Shox got himself set up in Sniper. Existence in pit. I'll just wait for some sound cues here, I'm sure. But look at Guardian, though. He will go down. Existence. What a great round from the man. Some beautiful work with the pistol. And Titan started off strong.
NaVi, they definitely kind of forced Titan to get back on their toes, swarming into the site, and we did actually see, I mean, this anticipation from Scream, immediately thinking, hang on a second, they're going to be rotating, just flings his aim back around 180 and does catch Zeus down. That was astounding, especially considering that quick calculation, like, hang on, he's going to be rotating through mid, they're going to have pushed up, we weren't present, and manages to catch a NaVi man off guard. Now they are going to be forcing into this one, it's going to be quite symmetrical down the board, just a Deagle being ruined, that Tech 9 train by Guardian. And they do have a whole lot of smokes between them. They're going to be looking to try something different here against a whole lot of SMGs.
Double P90 here for Titan, and they love to set up on this one here. As you said, a lot of Tech 9s for NaVi. They're actually splitting more towards Upper Park, actually, and going the long way through mid. Existence, though, will be waiting there. Look at this perfect positioning for the man. Will he be able to catch on? He hears some sounds. Those sound cues are coming out strong, but it's a bit of a damned if you do or damned if you don't moment for him to push right now. He has relayed that information back to his team. Smith's going to back right up towards the truck. Titan are just going to let NaVi take some ground. I hope to pounce and set the trap.
Does throw out his flash and in hope of catching someone along. And actually, this is perfect. He's going to be able to find Flame. He doesn't find the frag just yet, though, but the bomb's loose. And Shox is there to save the day. And Tyler's going to go ahead and start piling them up now. Just 2 more bodies for the pile. It's going to be Seized and Edward. And actually, Seized, if he's a bit cautious with his footsteps, he could come around and catch it. Again, Scream!
Dude.
Well and truly aware of that flank. And is going to keep all 5 members standing then for Titan. Very neat, very tidy. And that's going to be a big contrast to that first round where we saw those 3, that flurry of frags between Guardian and Edward.
Crosshair always at head height, that man. Brilliant stuff there in that round. Really, really, really nice there. It was a good combination as well with the players as they sort of dealt with the push from bench and out from upper park as well. NaVi still waiting, obviously, for their buy. They had to go through this pistol again, buying nothing but a P2K on Guardian. Not really extending any further than that.
They are going to be, again, seizing this control. This is what we talked about as a typical CT side.
P250, goddammit.
And there we go. It's going to be Existence. It's just time to mow them down. They're unarmored, and that P90 does exactly what it does best. 3 for him in that one, and now it's just going to be Seized, who's just, once again, lifting on a bit of a prayer to try and pick this something out of this one with just the Glock. But Titan, they've got their initial 3. It's more than they picked up against Fnatic already. Let's not forget, 16-2 was the final scoreline against Fnatic. Now, 16-3 is the only possibility. They have done one better than yesterday already.
Gotta feel good to already have improved on your final performances. But Titan cannot be satisfied with just this as the first buy comes in here for NaVi. We are seeing those flashes and armor being added to those AKs, and this is where it counts. And Titan,
Observer is correct.
Have kept with those initial buys. We still see Existence and Scream with those P90s now against armored foes. I'll be interested to see how this one transpires.
This is especially RPK. P90 I can sometimes understand. Get right, most definitely can understand. Scream actually flashing himself. RPK there to hold his hands. RPK, if you can do damage with an MP9, I'm going to be very surprised. There it is. That's 1. That's 2. That's a whole lot of money, and that's a whole lot of NaVi dead. 2 down. Now they have just 3 to work with, and this SMG risk has most definitely netted them a whole lot of reward. 1,200 extra for RPK, as well as a shot at a 4-0 scoreline.
Pulling the rug out from underneath NaVi there with their push. Just, how do you recover from that one now? Shell-shocked, of course. Flamey is just trying to set himself up there towards Canal. And RPK, we're waiting for Zeus to push him now. Does have the AK in hand, but it's not going to be enough to do the job now in construction. Flamey wants to push sandbags. 1 player for Titan on the site. Some rotations coming through as well as a Molotov. Makes Zeus's feet a little bit crispy.
Yeah, now, I mean, this is where those SMGs are going to come back to bite them. Scream, fortunately, does find Zeus, and it is going to be level in terms of numbers. Not necessarily Arsenal. A UMP for Smiths is not going to make this retake the easiest. And the flash onto Edward is fortunate, but Smiths has still got a little bit of ground to cover. He's going to be coming through short, but fortunately, Scream just finding a hedge out of nowhere. Through the wall, it's going to be Edward then who equalizes. Back and forth we go. This round has been topsy-turvy, upside down, and now it comes down to Scream. Another for him. 3 in that round. RPK found the other 2 with the MP9 not so long ago. And Titan doing a fantastic job in securing that 4th round. Off the back of SMGs, no less. Look at the money. We see 10K in the pocket of Smith. Scream not too far behind. And that's going to be a very scary Titan, and look at that. They are looking to continue to get extra money in the bank, following RPK's lead because of the unarmored NaVi they're expecting.
That's right, rebuying the MP9, knows he doesn't need to invest too deeply in anything else to deal with NaVi at this stage. And they are back to a bit of a force here, of course. Tech9's coming out as well. Guardian has a P250. We get it right this time. Flamey with a Deagle here as well. Scream there, just going to throw that preemptive smoke out there towards Canal. It just sits tight now, and well, Titan can just bide their time, definitely. Smith obviously set up here in connector. And NaVi are just sitting back towards Ali, taking their time here. They know they want to go to B, at least for the most part. Unless Zeus can open something up here at Park.
Yeah, I wouldn't actually commit to that call on B. This is actually what Fnatic's T-side looked like. They'd start like this, and then those 2 prongs, those 2, Edward and Zeus, would start the hunt through connector towards toilets. And, you know, maybe if they continue to see that clock fall down, once those rotates from the CTs do come in, we could very well be seeing that bomb move. But right now, you're right, C's digging his heels on towards that monster. It's going to come down to what Shox can do here, but then again, Existence and Shox, beautiful crossfire, and the dreams of an A push are going to be dashed as that little overextension from NaVi is going to, oh, hang on a second, connection through smoke. Flamey does bring Scream down to 36. Nothing more to come of that one, though. And I think NaVi realized that they don't quite have the arsenal for what they were trying.
Vice versa, of course. Flamey took quite a lot of damage in response through that smoke, and it's just forced him on back. Only seized with armor at this stage as well. Well, now he's dead. So Smith's there, great push with the MP9, just straight towards the head as well. Very, very accurate with that one. And Existence will finish that one. Put NaVi out of their misery for that round. And again, NaVi continuing trends of letting this first buy, their first few rounds just fall by the wayside. But here's another chance for them. Time to buy up again. Guardian has the AWP in hands right now. Even some armor.
Don't you dare. No, RPK.
Really?
And Smiths, they're sitting pretty on a whole lot of money and they're still doing it. What on earth?
Give themselves a buffer, why not?
It just feels BM. They're going up against a Guardian AWP. They've got NaVi full bought and they're sticking with 3 SMGs. Okay, catch my breath. Let's see where they can go with this one. Again, going a bit of aggressive. It's going to be them trying to challenge out C. It's not going to happen. Oh, I say that for one, but unfortunately RPK trades out with the MP9. That's right, folks. Your eyes are not deceiving you. And let's see if this round can continue to go towards the French. Bomb loose, and actually they're getting a whole lot of intel through Shox, who's pushed up a whole lot. And look, in the meantime, RPK gets his second. He's been so influential so far in this game.
Huge word from him. And for Shox, sometimes no information is a lot of information. He's seeing nothing here towards that T-spawn, so he knows NaVi's setting up more towards Park here. Flamer, they might challenge him in a second, but Edward, Guardian, of course, they're looking towards Bank here. Shox. They want to make their way towards A. Flamey actually backing up. He may have run into Shox, but he's now going to rejoin the rest of his team. But NaVi have to make a pick. They have to make an entry through bench towards A main. Existence might have something to say about that one. Perched in the corner there with that P90. And we're just inching his way towards his site. Got to be nervous about this one. You've got no idea what you could potentially be going up against.
Yeah, and I think RPK's about to do some insane damage coming from behind. Guardian did not see that one coming. He's put his MP9 to bed, picked up an AK, and they've gone and done it again. 4 for RPK in that round, living up to the RPK tank title. And that is mind-boggling. Using 3 SMGs. Look at the money indeed. They're all breaching 10k bar Shox. And I think, dare I speak too soon, Uber shouts, we could be seeing a full rifle buy for Titan. The first of its kind.
Yeah, well, I mean, the fact that RPK and Existence have opted now for those AKs.
Just scavenging them.
Yeah, I mean, well, they didn't really need to buy them. Why buy when you can take them off your opponents? NaVi going for the second tactical pause of the night. Last time, didn't really work out the way they would have liked it to. Penta seemed unperturbed by that sort of, the stop in their momentum. They seem to be able to build it up again easily enough here. I tell you what, NaVi, I don't know what's going on. Maybe Titan just approaches this map like, you know what, screw Overpass. We don't really like it. We're just going to buy troll weapons and see what works. But so far, now, some hope must be budding for them as well. We're thinking, all right, well, maybe they're smelling blood in the water as well, with NaVi already falling to Penta. Maybe a sign of weakness. Maybe they're the prowling lion and this is the injured gazelle of the pack, NaVi.
Potentially. I mean, on Overpass, you wouldn't expect that. They're more of a predator. I mean, 11-6 win record on this map in the last 3 months. They're definitely a team that are no stranger to Overpass, and they've definitely got their own kind of tricks up their sleeve, especially on the T side normally. I remember, you know, cast my mind back to the last time I saw them on Overpass, and I remember a whole lot of kind of B executes. There'd be a lot of strategies surrounding out fast and slow B plays. Not seen so much of them this time. And maybe just more patience needs to be required. We haven't seen the kind of signature, or what was once signature NaVi kind of running the clock down, which can work quite well over on Overpass. So we'll keep our eyes peeled and see what it is that they bring to the fray. I think that is the question now. It's not so much what Titan are doing, because what they're doing right now is working. This over-aggression, I say over-aggression, excuse me. The aggression, it's not over-aggression because it's most definitely working towards middle, towards connector, towards water.
And we're talking about what NaVi are doing, what they need to do now. All eyes are on Flamey as well, because I hyped him up as the counterpoint to Scream, you know, coming up against Flamey. Nothing for him yet, has yet to really get that frag as well. So it's been tough for him, only the 1 assist. So he really needs to wake up, needs to start making an impact here. But the Molotovs are coming in. That one went towards Sandbags, and it looks like NaVi, again, not pushing too hard on towards B, that they're setting up there, tentatively at least. Titan canny for this one here. You can see Galil being bought up for Zeus, so it's definitely not a full bought NaVi at all.
And that Molotov was all because of RPK. All of that early presence towards peeking that short tunnel, all of that would cause that Molotov to be thrown out. And you can see RPK has indeed been slowed down just a little bit, playing pillar now. And NaVi, in the meantime, do look like they're starting to turn their attention to the opposite site, despite Guardian and Flamey keeping them busy.
Connector is an option for them now. They've been able to use it. They've come through, and here's C's now heading in towards toilets. A lot of gunfire happening on B side, and Sif's in existence are just sitting back, waiting for a push towards him. RPK, though, he's going to take the initiative and push out towards Guardian. He gets a second. Flamey hits the deck. He almost looks like he could have made it a third there, but this aggression from him in short bursts is just putting NaVi not on tilt, but they just can't stabilize.
Yeah, there's very little that they can do about that. I mean, Guardian, he went aggressive. He was desperately trying to find that presence towards water, but not this time. And again, NaVi have to operate at a loss. And I said, you know, where's that low clock? Here it is, 24 seconds, and the bomb is not down. They are going to start committing towards A, but Titan already, they've got 4 players lying in wait, and Shocks is going to start, and it looks like the rest are going to finish. Zeus then would just take a little towards Optimus. RPK says no. Can he find another? Not going to be needed, as Existence does the work for him. He got 3 in the round again. RPK at the top of the scoreboard alongside Existence. Both of them are 19 frags between them. That's insane, and you look at that, that's actually almost more frags than the entirety of NaVi combined.
Well, it is.
I mean, it is.
It is straight up more. I mean, you know, Flamey almost channeling his inner James Bond there as well down the bottom. Look, I mean, volatility, when you talk about that, a team being volatile, can actually be a good thing here. Titan are making such aggressive pushes and little bursts that NaVi don't really know how to react to them. They seem to be very much caught off guard by them there. RPK, when he's being let off the leash, is just wreaking havoc over at B. And he's able to rotate through and do damage later on. But NaVi now, again, they're working a little bit more towards mid now, more towards Connector. Guardian on towards Smiths as he does work long.
Okay, this is something a bit quicker from NaVi, and I think Existence is anticipating that instead. Not going to give them restrooms for free. He's pushed up and he's playing the smoke. He could play it so well. This is great. Escapes through the smoke like a slithery snake. Not going to get the second, though. In the end, it's going to be seized who responds finally. And it does look like NaVi turned up the heat, picked up the pace, and this could very well be #1 on the board.
Oh, I'll tell you what, tell you what, RPK gets a lovely double there towards Season Flame. He just picks him out of the barrel and makes it a 2v2. And there's Scream as well on towards Guardian. Edward now all on his lonesome here, just sitting at A. The bomb is loose. He has to sort of cross over to get that one, and he knows there's Titan players inside toilets. This could be messy.
That was truly a lineup from NaVi, just gifting him their 2 heads. And the bomb does go down safely, smart from Edward, enabling him to escape. You would expect towards Bank. And he is going to be hunted down. His pincer is going to be deadly. No! Does cut off one of the hands before the second can grab him. And now, with the smoke from Scream, you might very well be holding this. And this is perfect relocation from Edward. That's an important round, stabilizing after, again, an incredible play from RPK. It's becoming an all too familiar sight for us, just screaming that man's name, just 8 rounds in. And you can see them line up here. Look at this. Trying to stop the bomb. He does exactly that and then does one better. Crazy.
Wasn't even trying to kill Flamey at that point.
No, Flamey fed it. Yeah, he was just like, here's my head as well, take it.
Right now, Titan are in the same situation as they were last night, but reverse. It is now 7-1. This is where they got their first round against Fnatic, and we saw how the rest of the game went. They've turned this around beautifully. I don't know what's happening. Maybe they're just in the right mindset for this game. But let's see if they can continue things now, as for the most part, we see construction being sort of picketed out by NaVi players. Existence making his way into Connector. He wants to disrupt this now. Pushing out. He's going to get one straight away. Guardian goes down. Tries to turn for the 360 or 180, should I say. Maths, come on. He does take down Zeus at least, though. It does trade in, though.
What do they teach you in Australian schools?
God, I was like, what? No, I don't even know.
180 degrees in a triangle. Now, though, while Mitch has got his textbook out, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about what Caesar's doing here on towards B. Clears out the only man really defending it, the one kind of watcher on the site. And it's not going to be lasting too much longer now. Flamey down, all onto Seized. 78 points of health and 3 members all coming in from every single angle. He knows this is not long for this world, and Smith does confirm it, as that's going to be 2 for him, 2 for Existence in that one. And Titan, they're just taking it in turns to get really crucial frags. They come in pairs, it seems, so far for the French. Look at this.
The 180, as it were, which Leslie butchering highlight clip since 1991. But yeah, beautiful stuff from him as well. Great reaction. And it's that stuff. It's those brief moments of brilliance there, those bursts of activity from him that are turning these rounds on their heads. And NaVi seem to not have an answer to that.
Yeah, just yet. I mean, you're right. This is exactly where Fnatic stood just yesterday up against Titan. And let's see if NaVi can find, catch their breath in some regard, because this is where it starts tumbling out of control. We saw exactly with that case in the Fnatic game, though. Does look like Smith is about to be challenged by some pistols, and NaVi are all coming in once. It's going to be Existence who does draw first blood, but he's not going to be given the opportunity to find much more.
Smith, though, will be waiting in toilets for this push from NaVi. He knows they're all around him. He won't be able to get one assist. Gets him in the head with the P250. Now Shox, he has to step up to the plate. He has to stem the flow now. It's a smoke that comes out. The nade got 2 kills. Guardian of Flame, he went down, and he can sit back and start to defend this site as NaVi push forward.
Yeah, just screams catch, and that's 2 members down. They do have a rifle, but it's on a very low health Seize. That's, yeah, I think that's the wise choice. Gets rid of both the bomb and the rifle towards his compadre in long. If Edward can actually get there, if he's been allowed to by the gatekeeper. Scream. In the meantime, Shox gets one, and Scream gets the other, has the double S to acquire another round. This time it was Shox who took his step to the plate. It's going to be 3 for him in that one. And it's going to be a very, very sexy nade. Just walking in. They had pretty high health. I think I saw 63 on one of them, so that was almost a collateral.
Yeah, I mean, no armor, man. What are you going to do? I mean, it was an eco round coming out from NaVi there. They did pretty well considering, to be honest. Definitely put some pressure down now, but let's see what happens. Will we see that Molotov? Yes. C is going to be throwing that one there to stop the early push into construction. NaVi RPK doesn't care about that one. Oh, he burns down. Why? Completely disregards that one there. Maybe he was too far deep. But he's fallen foul of that great counter strat.
That's, yeah, we said it before. That's exactly what the Molotov was throwing for. He quite literally whipped out a Sharpie and wrote RPK's name, 3 letters, on the bottle of that molly. And it does find its target. Now, though, 4v4. As here comes NaVi towards the site. Again, pace seems to be the only way forward for them, as again they turn up the heat, and again, Edward gets 2 frags. Now the bomb's going to be going in. It's going to come down to Smith trying to catch this flank, and he's going to do just that. That's a start, but he had to pay quite a heavy price.
Absolutely. Gets tagged quite heavily down to 18 points of health. 19, should I say. But Smith's going for the cheeky little spot up here. Great work on towards Guardian, sorry, and we go to 2 and 2. The bomb is down. Scream is going to try and work from A main as well. Does have a Molotov to use. That heads in the direction of Bank. Smoke is obscuring one of those NaVi players. Flamey, though, is caught in the head by Scream, and it's a 1v1 situation. Bomb is down. Not much time here. Scream has to manipulate this one. Well, he takes down Edward. He'll get the defuser. Titan, just when it looked like NaVi was starting to get some wind in their sails, it is ripped from their grasp.
2 versus 4 between the French boys there. Smith's picked up 3. Scream snatching 2, and that's going to put them both in double digits. They get 10 frags, Titan get 10 rounds. Everyone is a happy camper.
Except for NaVi right now, who just, again, struggling to come up with something to counter this play. It's a different map, it's a different team for them, but it seems like they're falling foul of the same internal issues, maybe, that they had earlier tonight. This is just getting away from them right now. I mean, sure, we can go to halftime and hope they get a good pistol, but now is not the time, as Titan are stacking these rounds up. Flamey's in construction, though. RPK is still alive, at least.
Well, I mean, you know, he didn't rush a Molotov this time, so that's the start. And in fact, look, Patience does net him a reward. As instead of falling foul to the Flames, he finds Flamey.
Wow. RPK not so cold this round, didn't really need it. Flashes over towards construction there. RPK straight around the corner, but Zeus actually bests him with the Galil. Scream now thinking of stepping up to the plate, but Zeus is low to 4v4 now. A lot of action happening along here. Smith is flashed out, but so is Guardian. He still manages to connect, though, and Existence goes down. Guardian chaining 2 lovely kills together. This is good. This is momentum being built up for now, and this is Titan split between A and B. Shox is going to come out of the smoke, but Seize will be there to greet him with a hail of bullets to the face. And Scream now, well, he's stuck on that B side. He must get to, well, on the A side, should I say. He must get towards B. Gonna go to Sniper first, hoping to get an easy pick just to whittle down these numbers from NaVi. Great shot towards the head of Seize. The man, he is a human bot.
Absolutely, he is the headshot machine, and I think we're going to be seeing Edward fall to him as well. Again, another headshot as well. This could be Scream with another clutch. I don't know whether he's got time, though. Considering Zeus's positioning, he only has to play the clock. It's going to be his worst enemy at this point, especially considering Scream still checking corners. Zeus just has to sit and wait. As Scream, so convinced the man's coming from behind him, does have the kit. 5 seconds, and Zeus is just going to come and put a couple of bullets into his brain in order to acquire NaVi's second.
The second round for this map coming up for NaVi.
It's so odd. Like, you looked at it on paper, and Overpass, not a map good for Titan. NaVi, pretty damn good. Titan have just lost on this map to Mouse Sports, and at the moment, especially, you know, in the standings and in recent results, NaVi a stronger team than Mouse. Everything correlates towards this game not going at 10-2 to Titan.
Well, one way or another, Titan are at least getting practice on this map.
That's for sure.
We'll give them that. But whether they've had time between last night and now, or even the last game, to actually put things together, I'm not sure. But Existence isn't connected. Loves to work from that position. Guardian and Flamey are in playground. Slow play towards long here for NaVi. Edward with the bomb is backing out. Zeus gets a better resistance now, opening up that avenue of approach towards the middle of the map. But RPK always responding there, trading back and forth there towards the B side. He will back away himself. Smiths and Shocks pushed up in fairly forward positions right now. We're going to see them go head-to-head in a moment. I think he's able to take down Smith, but there is Shocks, and he, well, didn't stay for long.
Yeah, now, excuse me, this could be the third, as I think I just hit puberty.
That time, mate.
3v2. RPK only taking one with him, and it's just going to be then on to Scream. As our observer is losing her mind. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Pansy who is manning the controls for tonight, and she's getting sad. Loss of voice, but not loss of motor skills, and so she is controlling the camera for us. That's going to be Flamey. What was he doing?
I don't know where his motor skills went right now. The Scream will still push on towards him now, towards that A side. Bomb goes down. Zeus will be waiting from A main. He's got to look in two directions right now. Scream has to hedge his bets against those two. Zeus will still be there to meet him when he pushes out. 3 rounds now for NaVi. Well, better late than never.
Okay then, 2 potential more rounds, especially considering Titan's economy. They should be able to get away with their rifles. And a good head of nades as well. Just a couple of players limited on their smokes. But going into this one then up against, I would assume, the AWP of Guardian. Yes, he is going to be putting that back into play. And I mean, this is CT Overpass. Forgetting what we saw against Fnatic, you would expect to see the CT side pick up an advantage. 10 rounds is huge for Titan. But if NaVi find 5, and this game plays out like a normal Overpass game, we could have a real game on our hands.
Scream with a 5-7 and Existence again. Setting up shop here in Connector, and Zeus got the better of him last round, but we're going to see the head-to-head in just a moment. Zeus looks away at just the wrong time, and that hampers NaVi in a big way. Their flexibility now reduced. Shocks takes down Flamey. Guardian does connect there with the AWP. On towards Shocks, but Titan are trading this one beautifully now with a 4v2, just stripping NaVi of options in this round. Yeah,
and this is big from Titan. You know they haven't recovered rifles, but the frags alone have done damage now. Just 2 boys left for the CIS team. And I would not be surprised if we do see a decision kind of being made right now by NaVi. They know their economy is not going to be fantastic into this final round of the half, and it's a question of weighing up odds and chances, and I think it's also a question of if Guardian can find anything in the next 15 seconds.
Seized also will be bringing up the rear. Bomb in tow. We're making their way towards A main right now. Shots are ringing out from those 5-7s here, and Smith has actually got himself a rifle, so that's important. He's managed to get one off his comrade.
20 seconds though.
Running out of time now. He'd like to lead down the clock, maybe not in this particular way. The Existence hears some sound. He knows he's going to get pushed onto. Seeds goes down, and the bomb is loose. Guardian has to make this work with the AWP right now, but he's got to be pushed onto from multiple directions. He gets flashed up. Existence, he's going to go in for the kill. Yes, he connects. NaVi staved off this time. They started to get a bit of a run, couple rounds in a row, but Titan will give themselves one of their own.
11-3. This truly is rather impressive coming in from Titan. Even in less than ideal circumstances, both in buy and round, they are finding the frags necessary. 11-3, 1 round away then from what could potentially be a pistol round at the end of the game.
Frustrating times for NaVi now, going for a Scout Galil, 2 Deagles and a P250 here. Not all helmets either, but Smith there gets heavily tagged as he's been forced to back away. NaVi looks like they might want to work a little bit more towards the middle of the map.
Yeah, that was AWP versus Scout. I mean, you did see the Scout come out on top. Just hoping if he'd hit the dome, and Smiths does not quite connect the shot necessary. Was only given a fraction of a second in order to find that frag, and now NaVi looking to build off of this initial block they placed down on towards Smiths, and he's just got 10 points of health, but he's pushed straight through. Flamey does seem rather aware of this. He's staring directly into the smoke. He knows Smith is going to be lingering there, and this is terrifying. He knows. Oh, and the backup smoke comes in. Oh, Smith gets it. That's hilarious. He is not going to be seeing too much more, though, as Existence babysitting smoke is going to be short-lived. Guardian finds another with a Deagle, and Shocks puts him back in his place.
Yeah, 2 quick ones with a Deagle from Guardian. Maybe a glimmer of hope there for NaVi, and it persists. Edward takes down Scream, and Shocks knows he has to hot-foot it over towards that B side. Now must get there. Tough to clutch from here as well. Does take a headshot as he makes his way through connector on towards walkway. Edward will flash and just try and cover his tracks and just hold him up for as long as he possibly can. Shocks knows where he should be, but there surely will be a crossfire right now, and Edward chooses the time to poke out very wisely and takes down Shocks. NaVi get there, well, 4th round of the half right at the end. They're in honestly pretty compromising circumstances there. They didn't have a lot to work with. They're going to need every round on top of that from here on out.
Yeah, that's kind of going to be the buzzword for Na'Vi. They have very little on their side coming into their defensive half, and it's going to be coming down to their initial 3. You know, if they can start in the same fashion that Titan did with those first 3 rounds, and then continue to build off the back of them. I think it was actually a rather convincing start, and that's kind of where Na'Vi need to follow suit.
So far, we have seen Na'Vi, you know, sort of lose that pistol and then not actually able to sort of have their wits about them by the time those gun rounds come around as well. So, well, obviously, goes without saying, pistol is a must-win here for Na'Vi. They have to start to stack some of those rounds up. It's been a good performance from Edward, considering, but Flamey as well, very, very quiet half for him, really. Only 3 kills to his name. Hasn't been able to have an impact, hasn't been able to influence the flow of the game as well, and it's going to be frustrating for one of the best riflers in CSGO.
Yeah, I mean, he's crazy, and I mean, everyone's drawing that same comparison that you did, where it's kind of Flamey and Scream, who are these kind of what can sometimes just go off on these fragging streaks that very few people can counter. And let's see if maybe Flamey can redeem himself now on the defensive side. It looks like it's going to be a long play from Titan. They're throwing their bodies, and Flamey, just as we questioned him, has drawn first blood.
That's right, it does open up with that USP. Now he's working in towards mid through toilets. He's still fairly healthy as well. He takes his second. The Scalp of Existence will be added. Smith is able to come through, pushing towards toilets and take him down. The menace that he had been. Smith with 2 as well, going to even it up at 3 apiece. Scream is incredibly though now, and you can see Na'Vi players just huddling up on towards his A site. Can they do much from here? They're expecting a push through, and Edwards set up in toilets as well. They have a good cover, but let's see if they can make the shots connect. They cannot! Smith's an RPK. Getting it done here, turning this pistol around. This is disastrous for Na'Vi.
I mean, it couldn't have gone any worse. Now Titan turned it completely on its head. 3 for Smiths in that one. RPK picked up the double for himself, getting that final frag into the head of Edward, and now we have a little bit of a problem on our hands. Losing that pistol is going to put a lot of pressure now on Na'Vi's the remaining few rounds. I'm intrigued to see how they take this force. They have gone full, as much as they can, rather. Helmet and Kevlar deals across the board, apart from the 2 5.7s. Now it comes down to those SMGs from Titan. This could be a replay of what we saw before, those MP9s.
They really want to squash Na'Vi here, of course. And Mac Daddy coming out as well for RPK. Smith's actually managed to get himself an AK here, so Deagle's coming out for Na'Vi. They must hold on here. Armor, helmet for all but 2. Flamey's pushed up here on long, quite close. His teammate is there, flanking him. Existence now in mid might be caught here. Sees comes up from behind him, does manage to take him out. There's Flamey as well, doing work with the Deagle. RPK is able to chime in here, and so is Scream. But Na'Vi have done well. They've traded into this one beautifully. Now the Mac 10 of RPK does find its mark. Here's our 2v2, but Edward has managed to get himself that MP7. So has Zeus. Decent guns in the hands of these guys. Let's see what they can make of it.
Yeah, I like this. He's wielding Existence's weapon and kind of putting 2 and 2 together and realizing that they are going to be on their way back. Catches the bomb carrier as he does get himself up to party. Very nice work from him. And let's see if he really can celebrate. If it's a little too premature, Scream does find Zeus's head, and now he just has 40 seconds to find the SMG of Edward. Oh, gets caught. Very nice from Na'Vi. They come into the second round looking for a little bit of a vengeance, and they do get a taste for it.
They turned that around so beautifully as well. Invested heavily in Deagles and put a lot of players on long. They read that nicely as well, getting those guns straight out of Titan's hands, giving themselves access to those SMGs to turn things around, really helped get themselves back in that one. I mean, they didn't win the pistol, but well, this is the next best thing here. And Na'Vi now able to buy up 3 Famises, an AK, as well as an M4 there for them. And Titan now forced to be a bit more frugal now with those Tech 9s and the P250s. Couple flashes there as well. They've all got some armor, no helmet for Existence. So they've got something to work with. But as I said, they need to do an Na'Vi here as well if they want to keep that train rolling.
Yeah, and I mean, if they did keep that train rolling, Na'Vi's economy is going to be completely reset. That's the kind of the one worry when Titan do bring this force into play. And now it does look like they are going to be starting to push through toilets. This is aggressive, and we saw it work for Na'Vi this time. Let's see if it can work for Titan. Oh, just the one. Scream does swing around, and he's going to be able to find a very crucial frag. Bomb is loose, though, and Guardian not going to let Titan start something special. And as I say that, it's just going to be coming down to Smith. Don't you dare, Zeus. Stops that before it gets out of control. Did manage to do 3 frags, though. To take 3 weapons away from Na'Vi is not, the most important thing considering Titan's economy now, but it does manage to keep a lid on Na'Vi and force them into something a little less than ideal.
Just want to keep them within arm's reach as well. Any sort of economic damage that they can be inflicting at this stage can possibly, sort of pay dividends further down the track. So, still forcing up with those pistols here, RPK and Scream with Deagles. P250s only armor on RPK though as well. He's the only player with that one. So Titan, did they play this one differently? Zeus getting so aggressive there, just straight towards the head of Shox. He never knew what hit him.
Yeah, for a second I thought we were watching RPK there. The MP9 pushing down through water, and oh, looks like the shop's closed again through connector. As the door just gets spammed closed though. Flamey throws out his molly. Finally another one, this time for Edward, as NaVi is going to be making light work, I was going to say, of Titan until RPK joined us. Don't do this to me! It could have been 3 with the Deagle. No, just the 2 for him. Again, though, taking weapons away from NaVi. That's the point you just made, whereby, you know, they are keeping NaVi kind of honest and frugal. And they are going to be going into this one with the AKs.
Yeah, not able to plant, though. Titan, that is definitely going to be holding them back a little bit economically here. I mean, Smith's... Let's see what he's got. I think he did buy a rifle there. Yeah, he did. Obviously got the AWP in hand, so he at least now can go for that one. RPK doesn't have armor, so they're still cobbling some stuff together. And NaVi, you know, a la Titan last half, still staying with some of those SMGs.
There were 2. Fortunately, Zeus does actually scavenge a FAMAS off the floor, courtesy of one of his teammates. And so going into this one then, things are going to start heating up for Titan. After so many rounds consecutively, they're going to be keen to start to make their own impact. NaVi, of course, 3 in a row now off the back of Titan's only 1 pistol round. I think it's evidence in their play that they are not keen on losing anyone early. Titan have managed to seize connector control, and they're going to be trying to build off that through middle. Guardian holding fast just outside toilets, and oh, we got a glimpse of one. It was Smith's AWP now snatched away from Titan, and that's a huge start.
Quite an exposed position for Smith to actually have pushed up into there. And Guardian, well, he had the line, and he took the shot now. And Flamey will actually push through towards toilets, at least set himself up in that corner for the moment. And Titan will have to play this one a little bit slower. The AWP has actually gone over to existence here, and Shox is going to play out of Canal here towards that pillar. He can find the head of Headwood, though. That's a great start. There's going to be another one on the side, though, and Zeus will be able to trade into that one and send him packing. Titan are happy to go 1 for 1 at this stage of pushing in, but they just have to keep the momentum going. They need to be pushing onto these sites and pressuring NaVi. Zeus getting a lot of breathing room here. He knows they're going to be coming through from connector. RPK goes down. Will he make it a second? Yes, Scream hits the deck and the bomb is loose. It's just existence left with an AWP and fire in his face. He's going to have to back right on up here. And, well, will he save this one or just go for something different? I think he's got to be very careful. He will be pushed, though.
It's a question of survival. He does get the 1. He's going to have to try and get out of line of sight just in the nick of time. Does just that. So he's going to be able to find security right back where he started at spawn.
Interesting stuff here as well. We're seeing... quite a few consecutive rounds coming out here for NaVi. They've stitched up 4, of course, in this half. You can see they've actually done so for the most part quite cleanly. So economy's starting to flow for them now. And Titan's the shoe's on the other foot here. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. We're seeing those Tech 9s being brought into. Smith's now getting his AWP returned to him. But they're going to have to play around him as a pivot point here. He is gone glass cannon. No armor for the man. He has to create an opening here in NaVi. And Titan had to exploit that, and quickly.
And that's not going to be ideal. Guardian, he did it a little late to the round before. This time he goes hunting, and the fast peek does net him a huge reward. Existence then has the AWP thrust into his hands as he's told to do one better than his teammate. Bomb from Titan is going to be such a priority now. They just need money at this point, and Shox has made huge room for his team over on the B site. Left Edward to his own devices, and actually did cost them a whole lot of problems. Never mind, Scream now down. Zeus doing the same, and now Titan have so few players standing so early in the round. It seems like it's just the same thing again and again. And this is going to be the 5th in a row for NaVi.
Guardian happy to push up a little bit aggressively towards Park there. Does find a kill. This RPK, they're going head-to-head with C's, but C's had the shot when it counted, and Existence is forced to back up into toilets. That AWP is still being circulated through Titan players. Existence still has it, but there it's going to be taken away from him. And Titan now, well, back to the drawing board. They must reset here. They understand, of course, they can buy. They don't have that AWP anymore. Smith will buy himself one regardless. But that scoreboard looking a little bit nicer here. Look at Flamey as well. He's had a lift. He's now he's in the middle table. Let's see what he can do now as the rest of these rounds go. It's a double AWP setup though for NaVi.
Yep, not something we've seen from them before. It's actually going to be Edward who brings the second one into the play, and it looks like he's going to be just taking that straight towards, I would assume, going for that peak on Monster. Oh, and that's nice. He gets flashed in, isn't anticipating. Oh, he is! Smiths, where were you? Catches a glimpse of his thighs and does again. That's 3 rounds in a row that AWP investment from Titan has just been taken away so early.
Yeah, it wasn't even by the primary AWP from NaVi as well. Edward stepping up to the plate this time with alacrity, but he will miss the shot over towards RPK, I think it was. The Seas does go down. Shox trying to work his way up out of Canal. RPK at the front. Shox fights ahead of Edward somehow, and that's the AWP down, but Zeus, going to respond. It's back and forth on this B site, and there's 2 players left for NaVi. It's an AWP and an M4 in their hands. What can they do with them as Titan look to try and get this plant down?
Back and forth game. I did see again early start from NaVi. This time though, Titan have managed to get their teeth a little further into the site. It's going to be Guardian and Flamey then, and I like this angle from Shox. They're not anticipating it. Does find the one. Guardian on the hunt, not even going to be allowed it. Shox seizes 4 frags in that one. Started so humbly and built on for Titan. 13 then for them, and that's going to be so crucial, as it did feel like NaVi was starting to roll a little bit of a snowball. That was 5 in a row for them, and finally Titan put 1 on the board for them. That's 2 now for them on the T side.
Economically, of course, Titan are not out of the woods yet. They must get this next consecutive one, but they're able to buy up. They're able to give themselves all the utility they could want. On the side of NaVi, though, they are lacking a bit. Only smokes for Flamey and Zeus at this stage. So, I mean, their ability to stall for time is going to be hampered a bit.
Damn you, Seas. I was getting so excited. I was like, oh, that's a keen lineup. Where are you taking me? In the meantime, Guardian's going aggressive. 2, not 3. He does. He's just shattering their hopes and dreams on long. Titanfall is a different game, and now it's all on to Shox.
Wow, what a showing there from Guardian. Completely shutting down Titan just as they start to get a sniff of the cheese, as it were. And now Shox, well, he's going to try and pull out some of his own Parmesan, some of his own brand now. 1v5 with the AWP in hand. Will he hold on to it? Probably no point now. Too easy to catch the man. He does take down Seas. That's one. I'm chalking it up. But Guardian gets the ace, and he's going to shut Titan back down and put him in their place.
Wow, and it was so damn sexy as well. Only losing 1 man for NaVi. Look at this. Charging at them with rifles. I almost felt like they had Tech 9s. What was that? Just goes off on long. And the Pro League most definitely living up to its name. We have seen so many crazy plays over the course of just 2 days. My mind cannot take it. And now, just Shox, who has gear, going to try and build something for Titan, because I have a horrible fear that that is going to be the first nail whipped out for Titan and their coffin, because now their money has been completely reset.
Oh, I get a feeling this may well be real close here. P250s for Existence RPK, well, the entirety of Titan with the exception of Shox here. He at least has a smoke and a flash, which he'll expend now. We're going to try something on towards B here. It's got to be aggressive. It's got to be a burst play, and they are making the push out on towards that side. Shox will be bringing up the re here. There is a lot of smoke going up, and Zeus wants to try and, well, squash down this rebellion as quick as possible, but Scream takes one. Zeus with one himself. Edward chimes in there as well. Over towards his pistol, and will manage to pick up that kill as well. And unfortunately, that's what happens. Titan trying to create an opportunity there on that eco, but not going to be enough for them there.
Do see another problem for Titan is, of course, their money. That's going to be not as a full eco, but 2 kind of a double half eco. You are going to see a couple of them just acquire a little bit of money. And oh, here we go. Let's see if you can do it this time, Seas. Do it for me. Lines up and then changes his mind. Does this time? No. Oh. Hey, okay, so he does throw it out, and it's actually, that's quite nice. It's going to land straight into short. We saw a similar smoke from Tads not too long ago. Talk about it in a second. Titan are again shattered. It's all then just on to Shox and Existence. Shox found one, looking for a second, but he's forced to reload, and that costs him his life and his teammate Existence. And NaVi are playing CT as you would expect, I suppose, considering what we did see from Titan's CT side. I think my bias levels have been askew by Fnatic yesterday. I was so confused. I wasn't sure what to expect coming into this one, especially seeing Titan acquire so much more on their CT side. But no, NaVi keeping it default.
It's tough to see a Fnatic game and take the result for Gospel, I think, now as well. NaVi are starting to wake up as well. They're within spitting distance of Titan after that round. And Titan have to buy at the very least here, but they've really got to do something special with it. It can't just be a close round. If they win it, they have to dominate right now. But everyone's going to be waiting in construction, and he takes down RPK. Zeus is also flanking him now. Grenades in towards Connector. Shox will have to back up for a moment now as Caesar waits a push from long. Smiths will be obliging right now as he will flash himself in. And Flamey is also being brought on towards that side. Sees great little flick, but Smith will be able to take his head off immediately. Flamey sitting behind the dumpster is going to be Molotov'd out. Shots through smoke. No, he won't make it, and Smith will be able to get across that one now. Flamey takes down Existence. Flamey takes down Smith. He's looking for a third right now, but Shox is there to shut him down.
This is doable. Scream and Shox, no stranger to the clutch, and the bomb is going to be going down. Nade going to be... Oof. Bringing Shocks down to a similar level as Scream, and straight through the smoke. Edward finishes what he started. Now then, it falls to Scream. 3 hungry members of NaVi are going to be fed that final frag, and that's going to be the equalizer. We find ourselves then at 13-13, and this has been the mental fortitude of NaVi displayed.
Well, at the very least, Titan have actually managed to get a plant here, so it's not going to be at the end of the world.
Silver lining, always, Mitch.
Well, I mean, the thing is, they haven't planted often on their T side here at all. Quite a lot of those rounds they're very much struggling with, but Zeus and Guardian, have a look at this. Those 3 players, in fact, really stepping up right now. 22 kills, 21 for Guardian, so very, very good. They're all waking up. They could have used them last game, but well, this is where it's at right now. Let's see what they can do.
Oh, and he's got the, as you dubbed it, the Dak.
Yeah. The Dak. That's the one.
Going to be equipping that and not finding anything too early on then in this one. Flamey, maybe he's found a little bit of happiness with that weapon. He's still sitting pretty on 12 frags, finding more than he did in the previous one. In the meantime, though, First Blood has been drawn and traded as Zeus and Shocks bite the dust. That's
right, of course. Guardian still with the AWP in hand. He's a little bit tagged up at the moment here. For the most part, his Titan looked to be working that long. Flamey just going to rotate now. Set himself up. Flash himself to get the spot. RPK, great shot towards the head of CZ. Will take down Flamey as well. And that's a great little passage of play here for Titan. Can they expand on this one here? You can see the reinforcements. The cavalry are on the way as Edward making his way up towards back of A. Guardian will be there as well. A dumpster with AWP, but the bomb is already down, and Scream is waiting for Edward as he comes up the stairs. And Scream finishes it as well. RPK, those 2 entry frags on a site do not come easily. They shouldn't come easily. That's a site where CTs can afford to just hold very tight angles and you have to come to them. And he clicks his fingers and takes 2 down. Very, very important play there from RPK. He has been a real backbone for his team, and it's represented in his frags as well. He is in a similar fashion to NaVi. Top 3 sitting 20 plus, just 3 frags separating those top 3 fraggers, and it's great to see RPK joining the likes of Shocks and Scream at the top. RPK made that look just so effortless. No, NaVi, all right. They've got to gather their wits here. Titan put their nose back in front. It's got to be tit for tat until the very end. I can feel it. But there's RPK making headlines again on towards Guardian. But Flamey, the 2-stacking connector from NaVi working out well. And Seized is there to pick up existence as he makes his way through. He is tagged up quite heavily. Smiths is there and he goes down. Nice work from Scream to chime in on that one. Now Flamey has to deal with Smiths at length. He will get him. Trade back and forth. 2v2 now. And Titan, well, they're going to be taking the bomb back in towards their spawn. Gear up for another push. Yeah, there's so much time on the clock. I think Titan don't want to rush things, especially on such an important round. If they pick this one up, that 16th will come, you would expect, a little easier, considering where NaVi would be sat, or rather the NaVi's wallets would be sat. But so far, 50 seconds, and that bomb is going to be slowly creeping and crawling. And NaVi, they're not ready for this. Edward's still in long. Titan haven't given too many signals away. This is going to be it, though. Starts waving a big red flag, and Zeus is going to be screaming that he needs backup as the smoke is pluming. That's right. Zeus can only really watch the cross to the side. Anything more than this, far too risky for the man. Molotov on the corner is going to prevent him from peeking that one safely and smoke on towards the side. Scream with subterfuge. Will plant the bomb. He'll back away as well. Zeus is going to have a crack through the smoke. Won't connect any of those bullets as well. And that's going to be starting to make you concerned now as Titan can back away. Edward's going through pipe. Shocks will be there to meet him. Who will be the better on the shot? It is Shocks. And now Zeus must. He's got it all to do right now. He must put the team on his shoulders to bring this one back. But Scream will shut him down. And that is heartbreaking for NaVi after mounting a very reasonable comeback here. They're at match point and Titan are looking good. Yeah, this has been a bit of a nail-biter as things started to come to a close. And I say come to a close because you have to look at that money. 3 players are going to have the idyllic buy, that's of course without the nades and utility that they do require. It's going to be Flamey who just step up to the mantle and equip himself something special. Just going for the 2 flashes and a smoke. Another flash and a smoke for Guardian, but that's all they have to work with in order to delay. And look at the side of Titan. Mollies for days. They've got everything they need right now to finish this one off. As Scream is going to be working too long and won't actually find any opposition. NaVi, well, they're trying to make the most, I guess, of P250s and Mag 7s now as they sit in towards Connector and they are just waiting. Was that Shocks? Yeah. Oh my lord, he just got past Flamey. Oh, he did. Okay, panic over. There's plenty more where that came from. Now he's going to be sitting Connector right now. We did see the door open, so he knows that NaVi have a strong presence towards here, and he's just going to sit back as the rest of his team will be sneaking their way towards A. And there's only C's there to receive them now. He can hear the mollies, he can hear the sound of Titan pushing past him, but he can't see. He is completely flashed out, and they've just gone straight past him now. C's has to turn around very, very quickly. He does get the better of Smith, but there's so much smoke, there's so much blood, and RPK is going to be able to take out C's. Edward will go down, and Guardian, it's not going to be enough here at all for NaVi, and Titan have done it. They have brought this one back. NaVi 0-2 for the night so far. Devastating stuff.
Titan stabilized then, 16-14. Couldn't get much closer than that. I think that's going to be a big result as well for Titan. 16-13, excuse me. I just gave them an extra one because I care. Because I care. But no, coming down right to the wire with Titan's strong CT side, NaVi having almost exactly the same, just edging a couple of individual performances from RPK. He is going to be my MVP of that one. The frags he was getting was so important. Taking risks with an MP9 way back when, getting those frags against rifles, and then now on the T side finding those frags on sites. Very, very comfortable play from him.
What a very valuable buffer actually for Titan on that CT half, which ultimately it didn't seem like they really needed. I mean, to get, I think it was 11 rounds in the first half is very, very good. It's more than you'd expect. You sort of go for the 10 and 5 split and be sort of happy to move on with that one. So they exceeded expectations there as well. And for a team who were going into this game saying, I'm getting pretty sick of Overpass, well, they've definitely they've done well in that regard.
Yeah, so that doesn't end. That's not the end of the line for NaVi, as they have a third test that they're going to have to attempt to pass. It's going to be up against Envious, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that one unfolds. If you guys have missed any of the action both today and yesterday in the Pro League, you can catch all of that information and more over at theScore eSports application. Just check it out on your phone on the go. And for now, it's time for us to take a break. When we're back, we'll find out if NaVi can pass Test 3.